Hey everybody, welcome back to another vlog. This is my second vlog, and today's going to be about my 2006 Acura RSX Type S. So this car is super important to me. Some people pay for therapy. I fill up my gas tank and I go for a cruise. Like today, Saturday, full tank of gas, go explore, and wanted to shoot my second video. So I'm gonna start with like a little parts list. I'll do a walkthrough of the car, show you everything that I've done, kind of give you a little backstory of how I acquired the car, and kind of go from there. So, if I didn't mention already, this is Flo Not, and I am Brad. Kind of a little backstory of the car. My parents actually bought this car. They gave me a budget after high school of $15,000 to look for a car. I knew I was set on a manual transmission. I hadn't owned one before. A lot of my friends in high school were gearheads, so any chance I got, they would let me drive their car around. Or, teach me how to drive because, I didn't, I sucked at driving. Stalled all the time, couldn't really grasp the hang of it. One of my friends had a 3000 GT, one of them had a little old Honda Civic, Honda Prelude, anything with a manual transmission, and if they would let me take it out and teach me, I was trying to learn. So when my parents gave me the opportunity to kind of get my own car, I started the hunt on Craigslist and the sites for months searching. And this car in particular was something that stuck out to me because it was a car that I drove past all the time. So in my parents' neighborhood, it was kind of across the street, and I would take the long way home to look at this 02 to 04 model RSX Type S that was turboed, and it was cool. So searching Craigslist forever, I finally find something that, I convinced my parents to go look at. It was up at a dealership. It was not this car. It was a 2004 model. And again, this was in like 2010, 2011, just for pricing in comparison to now. So it was like a 2002 to 2004 body style. It had about 75,000 miles on it, and it was going for $14,995. And the body was a little beat up. The interior wasn't perfect, but it was a Type S. And because I think things happen for a reason, that same morning, after checking Craigslist day in and day out for months, I come across a private listing right down the street from my parents' house for this car. A 2006 Acura RSX Type S. It had 25,000 miles on it, and it was for sale for exactly $15,000. So, thinking that this might have been too good to be true, I convinced my parents to stop along the way before we went to see the other one. Spoiler alert, we never even saw the other car because this one was perfect. It was immaculate. It was driven by a mechanic, babied it, garaged it, didn't drive it in the snow. It was sitting on the garage when we pulled up, and it was like my dream car at the time. So we talked to the guy. He's super cool. Tells me that he is actually the second owner, and there was an owner before him who owned it for 12,500 miles, who bought it new from the dealership. Then he took second ownership, driving it for another 12,500 miles. And now I'm the third owner of this car. Again, bought it at 25,000 miles, and today I just broke 140,000 miles. So I think like a perfect kind of story for me, searching it down, coming across this the day of, and ended up going with it. So this car has got me through a lot of tough times when I'm frustrated or anxious or whatever. I just grab the keys and go out for a drive. I've wanted to fix this car up for so long. I'm not really mechanically, I don't know how to work on cars. I have a fascination with it. I love watching the guy who now works on it. I love watching him work on it. And I've slowly learned a few things, but my passion's more for just driving it. I actually didn't start fixing this car up until about 130,000 miles. When OEM parts started to fail, that's when I started to switch parts out with aftermarket parts. And I sold my condo around that time, around the mileage, and made a little money on the condo. And that was a time where I was like, okay, I had some stuff set aside. I'm going to actually start making this thing kind of come to life, or the vision that I had for it. So I have a list here. I'm just going to read off my phone so I don't forget anything. So we ended up going with a Spoon N1 catback exhaust. So that's the, I think it's two separate pieces from Spoon. It's a axle pipe, I think what it's called, which is the kind of the muffler near the end, and then the mid pipe in the middle. So Spoon N1 exhaust. We went the BC Racing Coilovers, which I love. The ride quality is great. I don't remember the exact height that it's lowered to, but I'll show you closer to the wheel. For those of you who know RSXs, the wheel gap on these stock is insane. You can fit your entire fist from tire to fender. And now it's, dramatically reduced. So maybe like an inch and a half, somewhere around there. We have Progress front and rear sway bars. We have an SPC front and rear camber kit. We have the Hotchkis front and rear end links. We have a Hardrace tie rod set, specifically for lowered cars. We have the engine cold air intake, Vibratechnics engine mounts, which were, I think, OEM plus. Those things are amazing. Specifically when you're going from a hard shift from first to second, it really keeps the car planted. Noticed a dramatic difference with those over stock. And the main reason I switched those out is my passenger mount, the rubber was like basically blown out. So it was time to replace those anyway. SHG steering rack slider. So these cars are also known for basically this dead zone in the steering wheel, where when you kind of turn it back and forth in the middle, there's no steering input. So the SHG steering rack slider kind of eliminates a lot of that play, to where when you turn, you get a lot more feedback than stock, because you're moving from this rubber piece that sits in there to, I think it's a metal piece. So it just gets rid of a lot of that play that the rubber piece gives out. We did EBC front and rear rotors, HPS front and rear brake pads, which I really like over the stock brake pads. I just got the Spoon valve head cover installed, which makes the engine bay look completely different. I love how that turned out. Did the Spoon oil cap with that. And we also have a K-Tune race spec shifter with the K-Tune shift knob and K-tuned race cables. So I think that's it. And I get cold super easy, so I'm shaking a little because it is kind of cold out, and I definitely didn't wear, I should have brought another hoodie or something. That's the part list. Now I'm gonna take you off the tripod and give you a walk around of the car. Okay, so here it is. Like I said, it's got about 140,000 miles. Just crossed over that today. Give you a full walk around first, and then I'll go a little bit slower and kind of show you the ride height. I used towels because I didn't want to take off the plates. The other backstory is this car was in a front end collision. I T-boned someone. It was not my fault. She pulled out. I won't tell you the whole story, but essentially, insurance tried to total this car, and thanks to my dad, big thanks to my dad, he actually saved this car from getting totaled.
You talking to me? Well, then who the hell else are you talking to? Talking to me? Who the fuck do you think you're talking to?
Because it's about $7,000 worth of damage. Honestly, it didn't look that bad. The front actually held up pretty well. It's just, it deployed both airbags, basically hit like dead center on the car. So front bumper was replaced. I honestly can't remember if the hood was replaced or not. I think the hood might have been. It's one thing I can't really remember. Both the headlights were replaced. That's why they're not foggy, because the stock ones definitely were before. This is my daily, but I did have this car in college as well. So I'm actually surprised it's not more beat up than it is. It's got your typical daily scratch marks and stuff, but overall, it's in pretty good condition. I also got a minor little love tap in the back. Someone wasn't paying attention at a stoplight, so you can kind of see the aftermath of that. It's really not terrible. And but yeah, so ride height, like I said, I can't remember the specifics of what the drop is. I think it's like 1.5 inches, but you can see I can't even fit 2 fingers. It's probably 1.5 fingers, just above that for the back. I am running Continental Extreme Contact DWS 06 Plus tires. I am still on the stock tire width of 215/45. That is something else that I'm looking to upgrade next. Potentially go into a 225 or 235, just to get that closer, the look a little bit closer to flush. There's the front ride height as well. So again, it's coming down. Fix that. But again, this one's about 2 fingers in the front. Interior. Let's open this up. Interior is in pretty good condition still, although I just saw this the other day. So these seats in the front are notorious for ripping. Mine have stayed in pretty good shape, but this one just kind of started to get close to ripping there. But overall, I would say compared to what I've seen online, I think they're still in pretty good condition. Passenger seats in immaculate condition. That one basically doesn't have any wear on it. There's the K-tuned shifter. I do have the top piece off because reverse clicks into the, I have that center console piece at home, but reverse clicks into that, and I didn't want to cut into it, so I don't really eat in the car, so I don't really have any trouble with stuff dropping in there. Show you the mileage there. So we're just over 140,000, 140.14. Still rocking the tape deck. Pop the hood for you. I really like how the spoon turned out. Such a cool piece. I just like the back stereo spoon too, and I think I still think these cars are kind of rare to see in good condition, and I'd much rather invest in these higher quality parts because I'm already seeing some of the spoon parts for the DC-5 start to discontinue. I think they had a set of carbon fiber mirrors that were exactly like stock. They were just carbon fiber, and I think those actually are just discontinued now. Here's the Progress sway bar, again front and rear. I really like the spoon exhaust as well. You can see the little spoon plate. I'll set it back on the tripod too and fire it up and let you hear what it sounds like. Again, it's been ownership since about 2010 or 2011. Don't plan on selling this car. I plan on continuing to fix it up, maybe eventually get it repainted. But yeah, really curious to see what you guys think of these. I love the body style. Don't get me wrong, I love the DC2s because they have that lower profile look, especially when they are lowered. This one's a little bit rounder. I do think these cars are getting rarer. Maybe not as rare as the Type Rs once those start getting imported. But I'd like to know what you guys think too, on if you think these things are gonna start to go up in value more, or it's funny, I never really saw anything about these cars, but if I can find the article again, I saw an article with from Hardrace about the Integra that's not named Integra or something like that, but basically talking about if these cars are actually going to be collectible or not in the future. I'm not trying to keep it like super nice or anything. Obviously it's my daily. I hit VTEC in this thing almost every time I get in it because revving up to, 80, 200 RPMs or whatever it is so addicting. Probably include some footage of me driving, just so you can kind of hear it in motion too. I love this exhaust though, because you get the little pops when you let off throttle. And downshifts also sound really good. This is just a great exhaust. It has a really nice tone. All right, little pull. Second gear. Yeah, hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Let me know what kind of cars you're into in the comments. These high revving light cars are definitely something that are some of my favorites. Older cars, anything with a manual transmission. But that's a wrap. See you later.